Hello guys, it is Teenage Marvel Fan back with another video, and in today's video, I will be reviewing the season premiere of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's titled Missing Pieces. So I just started watching this show, like, at the end of last season, and from what I've seen of it, it's pretty good. And this first episode really excites me for the rest of the season, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So let's get right into the review. And there are basically two main storylines in this episode. So I'm going to start off with the one that has to do with the picture that I have on screen right now. So as you can see, that's Daisy Johnson, aka Quake, and Simmons, whatever her first name is. A lot of people on this show, they just call each other by their last names. So I have no idea what their first names are. So yeah. That's Simmons on the right, and Quake on the left. But anyway, so they are up in space, along with a couple other people, because they are looking for Fitz, who apparently got frozen in space and is in some kind of, I guess you could say it was like a capsule. It's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, so they're looking for him. And then they get stopped by some aliens. Daisy beats up the aliens because she has her powers. And then they basically interrogate them, and they find out where to go. They go there, they find the ship that they're looking for, they find that capsule, they open it up, but Fitz is not inside. But they bring the capsule with them, and so they're getting ready to head back to Earth because they think that they're never going to find him and that there's not really any point in trying. And obviously Simmons is upset about this because, that's the guy that she married, and she doesn't want to give up on him. So then she gets inside of that capsule, and I don't think she's trying to look for clues or anything. I think she was just really depressed, but while she was in there, she did spot a clue. So there was a little metal plate that had an engraving, so then she can read alien somehow, and she figured out what it said, and it was coordinates. And then she figured out that when Fitz was inside that capsule, he probably saw that, he went to that place, and he tried to freeze himself again. So she knows that he is there. But the others are like, no, we can't go because we barely have any fuel left. Who knows if we're going to be able to get back from that? And then they're like, what about if we go back to Earth and then come back and check it out? But then Simmons still mad about that, but then in the middle of their fight, they get shot at, and there's this giant ship outside that's shooting at them. So then they're trying to escape, they're trying to shoot back, and then they're like, set the coordinates for Earth. And then you see that Simmons set the coordinates, and she says, coordinates set. And then they blast off to wherever she thinks Fitz is. So, I'm not sure if they're going to find Fitz, and if they do, it's not going to be the one they're looking for, because at the end of the episode, you get this scene, and it shows somebody that is, like, carving something or slicing something up, and then someone knocks on the door, and he says that he's coming, and he turns around, and through this time you don't see his face, but then he injects something in his neck, and then he turns around, and you see that it's Fitz, but he got something weird going on with his eyes, and then he says, let's do this. So I'm thinking he might be evil, although in last season they already did the whole evil thing with him, because he had, like, that evil twin or split personality thing going on. So I don't know if they would do that again, or what's going on there. But moving on to the other storyline of the episode, which takes place back on Earth. basically you see that there's this park, there's like a basketball court, and there's some kids playing basketball. But then all of a sudden there's some weird lights, like a weird glowing effect going on. And then this huge guy with a beard just comes out of the wall that's like surrounding the park. So he just like walks right out of the wall. And then there's another guy that's trying to get through, but then he gets frozen in concrete as he's trying to get through. So he's dead, and then the guy just moves on, and, like, just keeps walking. And then the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show up. May is doing the thing where like she was talking to him from up in the ship, and she says, "Surrender now or we'll start to fire." So then he whips a giant blaster out, and then he starts to fire, and then their ship crashes. But obviously they're all good because they're not going to kill any of them off in the first episode. Yeah, so then he gets away, and then the next time you see him, you see that there were two other people, another guy and a girl, and they are going to a museum because their boss is coming and they needed to open the portal or something. So that's what they're going to do. But then before you get back to them, everybody else is doing their stuff trying to find out what's happening next. Mac and May, they go to find this scientist guy and they want him to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. And then they bring in that concrete wall where that guy was trying to come through, but he didn't make it. And then the scientist starts examining him, and then all of a sudden the guy starts moving. I was like, oh, he's not dead. But I don't know how that's happening because like only half his body's there, and he was frozen in concrete. But anyway, he just says that it's coming, and then he freezes again, and then he drops something, and it has coordinates on it. So then they decide to go to those coordinates, and because they know that that's where the bad guy's going to be. And also at the same time, Yo-Yo and there's another agent. I don't remember his name. I think it started with a C. But anyway, they're starting to get flirty. They're having a relationship start to blossom. So that'll be interesting to see that pan out, especially because Yo-Yo used to be dating Mac, and it'll just be interesting to see his reaction when he finds out. Yeah, because he's like a big tough guy, and maybe he'll get mad that he'll like beat up that guy. That would be fun to see. But then, basically everybody goes to those coordinates, and it's a museum, and the bad guys are already in there. But then one of the guys tells the girl to go distract them. So then she whips out a knife, and then she like cuts her forehead open. And then when I saw that, I was like, "What is happening?" They called her Snowflake. So then she goes out and she pretends that she was a victim being held hostage. And obviously they believe her. So then they take her to one of their cars, and there's an agent with her. And then she says, "It's okay. We're all gonna be butterflies." And then all of a sudden the whole building like blows up. Well, at least you think it blows up. And then this huge like trailer truck comes through, and then so like everybody's on the ground, they're all knocked out. That agent that was with Snowflake tries to kill her, but then Sarge kills him. So yeah, you probably don't know who Sarge is yet, but I'll get to that now, I guess. So somebody walks out the back of the truck. Then you see their face, and he looks exactly like Agent Philip Coulson, who, if you don't know who that is, he was a big part of the Avengers movie, and he was like pretty much the reason this show was started, but he died. So now there's like this evil version of him, and he's called Sarge. So he saw that guy, that agent, and he had a gun, and then Sarge was like, "Let her go," and then the agent was like, "You're from Shield," and then Sarge said, "I don't ask twice." So then he shot him, and that guy's dead. But then May looks up, she sees Sarge. Obviously, that's not good because she was in love with Coulson, so it's like she's seeing his face again, and it's been only been a year since he died, so she's having a lot of emotions flow through her body right now, and this is gonna be tough for the team because it's basically going to be like they're fighting Coulson, who was their leader and part of their family, and now they have to fight a guy that looks exactly like him. Um, so this show does take place before, like Avengers: Infinity War took place and all that stuff. Um, it it would have been cool if it took place after Endgame, because, well, I guess spoilers for that. If you haven't seen that, then leave this video and come back when you have seen it. But they could have used that to their advantage, because from like what we've seen with the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, Mysterio is from another world, and he got like transported to Earth 616 because of what happened in Endgame with with like Thanos snapping his fingers, the Avengers changing the timeline, and all that stuff. So that would have been made sense for this, and they could have been like, okay, so that portal opened and Sarge got to Earth 616 because because of the snap and because of the Avengers changing time, and it could basically be the same reason that Mysterio has been teleported to Earth 616, and that would have been a really easy way to explain it. But no, this takes place before Infinity War, and that's fine. It just would have been cool if it was like that, but they probably didn't know what was going to happen in Endgame at the time that they were shooting this and stuff. Um, but yeah, please let me know what you thought of this review and this episode down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in my next video so I can bestow all my Marvel knowledge upon you.